Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing another Perfume Diaries video where I update you guys on my tray of the month, and I divide it into two videos. So one is done in the first half of the month and then one towards the end to update you guys on the fragrances that I have been wearing for this month on my perfume tray. I do have a monthly perfume tray that I switch out every month. So I do a video switching out my tray, and then throughout the month, I deep dive into the fragrances that I put on my tray. Today I'm going to be doing my July update before I change out the fragrances for August. So if you are interested in the fragrances that I have been wearing for July, just keep on watching. Let's start off with declutters. I think it was two declutters from this tray. So the first one was my Givenchy Very Irresistible. I ended up decluttering that one. I used to wear that fragrance a lot in my early 20s, and it was a floral, but it was like a very spicy floral. The longevity is out of this world. It lasts so long. It will last you the entire day. And I already sold it. I sold it on my Mercari. I just wasn't really like as in love with it as I used to be. There's nothing wrong with it. And I think that it's very classy. It's something nice to wear, like to go out or to go to a dinner. It just smells very feminine and a little floral, but with this very like warm spice in it, which really makes it smell so good. I think that's what makes it kind of like stand out. I think I don't remember which note it is, but I'm gonna be putting it on the screen, but that's what adds like the spice. It's not clove, I don't know if it's star anise or something like that, but it adds like a very nice spiciness, but I just wasn't enjoying it like I used to. So that one is gone from my collection. I have another one that I'm going to see if someone in my family wants it. I recently got this and a lot of you guys wanted me to update you guys on it. So I want to start off by saying that there's nothing wrong with this fragrance. It doesn't smell bad. It's not off-putting. It's not sharp. It doesn't give me a headache. None of that. It's really nice. I just don't really find it, I guess, worth keeping in my collection, but I feel like many people would really like it. So if you're a freshy kind of girl, you can still check this one out. And this one is by Taskeen, and this one is Marina. I think it's a really nice fragrance. I love the bottle. I'm actually gonna wear it one more time and see if I change my mind about it, because it honestly is not like a bad fragrance one bit. This just kind of reminds me of someone in my life who wore a fragrance like this, and it was like, you know, those people that only wear like one perfume. So I just feel like I smell this so much. Not this one, but something that smells like this. I don't know if maybe it could have been like an Elizabeth Arden fragrance or Clinique Happy, something like that. It's like citrusy, it's bright, it's refreshing, really happy smelling and sunny. It makes me think of a sunny day. So it's not going to be a declutter yet. It's just that I'm not really like in love with it, but I wanted to give you guys an update. But I will let it sit a little bit more and see if it changes. Very citrusy, fruity, refreshing. Let's begin with the update. So I'm going to show these kind of like from my all-time favorite of the month or half of the month to my least favorite, but they're still, I like all of them, so none of them are bad. So I am going to start off with the first one. This is from Fleur, and this is Father Figure. This perfume, I didn't think that I was going to fall in love with it the way that I have. I've always gave it really good reviews, even from my first impression video of this fragrance, which I started off with a travel size. I always really liked it, but it took me a minute to decide to get the full size. The more that I started wearing it, the more I was just like, I need this. I've gotten compliments with this fragrance. My husband really likes this fragrance. It's very effortless to me. I feel like it's just very comforting, kind of like relaxing. I wouldn't say aromatic, but it just has something about it that it just makes you feel kind of calm and like peaceful. It's those second skin types of scents. So if you are a Glossier You girl, if you are the Seven Virtues Amber Vanilla girl, you would really enjoy Father Figure. It does have that fig in there, so it's not a juicy or fruity scent, but I feel like maybe the fig just adds like a little bit of a fruity sweetness to it. It's just like musky second skin. I love it. It's like a comforting scent. I don't know if maybe that's why it's called Father Figure, because it kind of gives like this comforting feeling to it. Definitely my favorite from the second half of the month. This one's beautiful. You can wear it anywhere. It lasts on me. It's not a beast mode type of scent. If it's a second skin scent, it's going to be a little bit more natural, a little more effortless, and it just smells good. It's like a skin scent, but if someone comes up to you, gives you a hug, says hi to you, they're going to smell you and it's going to smell really, really good. Next up, we have my second pick from the Kayali Vacay in a Bottle set. This is Capri in a Bottle. That little dent right there is just making me sad because I'm really, really starting to like this perfume, but I still don't love the opening 100%. Yeah, this one needs time to settle down. If anything, it almost has like a funky smell to my nose. When it first opens up, it's like, ooh, like what is that? But when the sweet notes start coming through, when the raspberry starts coming through, when the vanilla starts coming through, it is so good. It is called Lemon Sugar, and definitely whatever sugary sweet notes are in here, it's definitely helping out so that the lemon is not too sharp. It is like a dessert. I don't associate this with vacation, but ever since doing my Kayali video for these minis, I did read a lot of your comments and I love to hear your input. And it's so true what some of you guys said, where a vacation doesn't have to be tropical, and that's so true. I thought about that. I'm like, you know what, there's so many places in the world, there is different times when there's summer, so I definitely agree that it didn't have to be completely tropical. I guess it's just what I associated vacation with is tropical places, the beach, fruits, coconuts, you know, that type of thing. But it does make a lot of sense where not every single fragrance has to be tropical in a summer set. So that's very, very true. But this one is a love for me. Maui and this one are my favorites. Now I do have something to say and I want your opinion on this. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but when this set was released, it was being pushed as this is limited edition. Get your hands on it before it runs out. And then after everyone went and paid $100 for the set, then you release the minis in separate. I feel like everything should have just got released at once. If you want the set, get the set. If you want to buy separate ones, get separate ones. And for the love of God, give us full bottles. Please, please, please. I really want Maui and I really want Capri in full size. They smell so good. Those two were hits for me. I really, really love them. I always tell you guys, I don't have anything against Kayali, nothing against Mona. I actually really, really love the marketing that they do, the imagery that they use, the bottles are beautiful. I just couldn't help but think, why did we have to spend our money for the set when we could have got them separate and kind of pick the ones that we thought we were going to like? So I want to hear your thoughts on that. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. My next favorite is from Juliana's Perfume, and I have been wearing this one quite a bit. I have a little baby dent on it and I wanted to share this. Not sponsored. I do work with them a lot, but today's video is not sponsored. But this is Lower Manhattan. This one is inspired by Tribeca, and I will say that this reminds me a lot of Baccarat Rouge 540, but with sweeter notes. So it's not Baccarat Rouge 540. It kind of has like a similarity to it, but they added like sweet notes into it, and it's just a little thicker and sweeter. And when I wear this, I smell it on myself for hours. I wore this the other day to go out. The dent is super duper tiny. The more that I wear it, the more it lasts. Like I feel like if you let these sit for a bit, they get even longer lasting, better performance. So yeah, if this is what Tribeca smells like, because I've never tried Tribeca, then this is really, really good, and I would love that fragrance as well. But yeah, this one is just like a sweet yet airy and a little gourmandish, but doesn't really get gourmand because it's still thin and dainty and chic. So it's like the perfect mixture of that Baccarat Rouge 540 feeling, like the airy feeling of it mixed in with sweeter notes. So this is a really, really good one. I forgot to mention longevity for the previous ones. This one is not a beast mode. It's not like super duper strong, but it does last a long time on the skin, and it definitely sticks to your clothes. So if you put this on top of your clothing, it's going to smell like that for hours. Lower Manhattan lasted all day on me as well. It does project, and I get whiffs of it all day with it. I have a nice scent bubble with this one, which is what I love. Actually, with all these three that I talked about, the scent bubbles are so good. So I'm not gonna go into details about this one because I have added this one to so many trays before, but if you're new, I'll just give like a quick little summary on this one. These two from Marc Jacobs, for me, I always have like one of these flowers in my collection at a time. They come out with different ones every year. I just really like these for, I need to go somewhere, I want to smell good and I'm not too sure what to put on. Like I can reach for this, splash it on, it's not gonna give me a headache, it's not gonna be too much. It smells good, it smells pretty, that type of scent. But Daisy Love Days has something special about it. If you love I don't know if it's apricot that's in here. I don't think it's peach. It's definitely apricot because it has a little more juicy and a little sweeter scent than the typical peach perfumes. Honestly, I don't ever want to be without this perfume because this has turned into one of my favorite perfumes. And I know the bottle is so big and so like obnoxious, but that doesn't really bother me. I don't mind. I love to look at my bottles and I like how different these are. I think this is probably my favorite one, with the exception of Marc Jacobs Daisy Love Skies, I think it was called. Ooh, I finished that one completely. That one was so good. But this one's amazing as well. Sweet, but still not, it's not juvenile. It has a little bit of like a flirty sexiness to it, super feminine. And I feel like now it lasts longer, that I've had it for longer time in my collection. It definitely gives me a really nice scent bubble. I smell it while I'm wearing it. It's just not beast mode. It's not super strong, but I do prefer these types of fragrances. So I know the notes are super duper simple. I'll put the notes on the screen, but definitely you get like this fruity, juicy touch in there, but it's not juvenile, it's not body mist smelling. It smells so good and it just smells very flirty and really girly, feminine. This one I like to wear pretty much any time during the year. Maybe not winter time, but fall time I could still wear this and enjoy it. So if I find this one on FragranceNet or one of those websites where they sell the discontinued fragrances, I'll go ahead and link it in the description box. But this is such a huge recommendation from me. If you want to try one of these, I would say try this one. It's my favorite. And then the Daisy Love Pop. This one has pistachio in it and it also has cloudberry. So it's very similar in DNA, but then at the same time, they're so different. Like I love both in my collection. This one starts off very fruity from that cloudberry, but then the pistachio starts coming through and it kind of smells the way that I really wanted Kayali's pistachio fragrance to smell, the Yum gelato fragrance. But the pistachio in here doesn't last as long as I would like, so that's the only downside of this one. But it's like a fruity scent mixed with a little bit of pistachio in there, and it smells so good. I love this one. This one's definitely a soft one. I think it's softer than the Days, but it's so good. It's so good for like an easy reach. Just, I want to smell good. I want to smell pretty. Nothing too complicated. Nothing to go like into super detail about. It's just sweet. Pistachio is in there. So it's kind of like a pistachio ice cream scent that comes through, but it never takes over the fragrance. It's there and then it kind of calms down a little bit. So I smell more of like the fruitiness in here and then the pistachios in the background, but it's a really nice take on pistachio. Next up, we have Parfums de Marly Delina La Rosée. This fragrance is one of my favorite niche fragrances. This is the type of niche fragrance where I can get on board. I can rave about it. Some niche fragrances, they can smell like, to me, like a farm, like a barn, like I'm not trying to smell like that. This is literally like a feminine goddess in my eyes. The rose is like a pink rose. It's a soft rose. It's not a strong red dry rose. Not like that. It's not vintage. It's not mature. This is like modern. It's feminine. It's youthful, but still womanly at the same time. And if you felt like the original Delina is too strong for you or too spicy, which is my problem, or the exclusive has incense, which I'm not into, Delina La Rosée is the way to go. Now, if you don't want to spend the money on Delina La Rosée, of course you can do dupe houses, or if you want to go the designer route, I would recommend Chloe by Chloe. It's very, very similar. Chloe is not as aquatic as this one is. I feel like Chloe's a little bit more powdery, but the scent profile is very similar. So if you love the way this one sounds, but you want something more affordable, check Chloe. They're very, very similar, and it's one of my favorite rose fragrances. I prefer more of like a pink rose scent. To me, there's a difference between like a very strong red rose and a pink rose. Pink rose to me is a little more forgiving. It's not as strong. It's not as headache inducing. It's not as dry sometimes and like vintage that some roses can smell. This is like aquatic, juicy, refreshing, but still the rose is noticeable. This one's a good one, and the longevity is good. I have no complaints about this one. I really, really love it. Next up, we have Fugazi Angel Dust. This is new to my collection. Twisted Lily sent it over to me, so if you're interested in trying this out, they do sell samples and you don't have to purchase the full size before you try it. And I will be leaving a discount code on the screen in case you're interested in getting a few samples from them. They offer samples for all of their fragrances, they're niche. And this one is Angel Dust. This one's like straight. I didn't know that they actually had an Angel Dust before this one. This one to me is kind of like the step up. If you're starting off with skin scents and like Second Skin, Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume, Fleur Father Figure, Glossier You, all of those types of fragrances, I feel like this one's a bit of a step up because it's a little bit more potent. It's a little longer lasting. The performance is better. It's a little woodier. So it's definitely unisex in my opinion. It smells so good. It's very, very kind of like along the same lines as Father Figure, but Father Figure, the fig adds like this juicy almost sweetness to it, but it's not too much. It's still Second Skin. This one is more woodiness. No fruit in here. It's woody, musky. If Santal 33 is too much for you, like it is for me, you can try out this one. I feel like this one's a little softer. It's not as in your face. It's not as like strong woody as the Santal 33 is. So yeah, this one's really, really good. I would definitely look into this one if you love musky Second Skin types of perfumes. Next up, we have Huda Beauty Easy Bake Perfume. It almost looks like if I haven't worn it at all, but I've worn this one. This one is that beachy scent DNA, like that type of perfume, like Tom Ford Soleil Blanc or Veronica by, it's called Sur la Plage, where those fragrances just remind me of being at a resort, being by the beach, but being like a little glam with it as well. Like, you know, maybe doing your hair, doing your makeup, maybe at the evening when you're going to dinner on vacation. I love those types of scents for that. And this is another one, but I feel like this one is so good. This one took over the spot of my KKW Body 2 fragrance. That one was kind of like what this is to me now, but this one is just, they added sugar to the base. And I feel like that does so much of a difference because the florals are more in the opening. So if you struggle with the florals that are in these types of scents, this one is amazing because the florals are at the top. So they do calm down a lot. And then in the mid and in the base is where you have like those yummy sugary notes and coconut. So this one's beautiful. I honestly think that this should be made permanent. It lasts, it performs, it creates a beautiful scent bubble. Like I have no complaints about this fragrance. Next, we have Gucci Flora Gorgeous Magnolia. This is such a love for me. I'm still loving it. I think that this is the perfect type of scent. God, this one's so good. This fragrance, I remember kind of being a little iffy about getting the travel size because it has patchouli and it kind of has notes that I don't do too good with. But when I tell you this is so good, this is amazing. I cannot wait to try the orchid one. I have the travel size coming in the mail and I will be filming very soon on for that fragrance. But I do want to remind you guys of this one because this is just beautiful. It has coconut as well, but it's not a beachy I forgot to show this in my coconut perfumes. I just thought about that. This is the perfect mix of, it opens up with, I forgot what type of berries, but it kind of makes me think of like Viva La Juicy opening, but the grown-up version of that. So if you think that Viva La Juicy is like too young, too youthful, just you want something a little bit more grown up, but you like those sweet berries in there, this one is one to check out. It's juicy, the berries come through, but then that patchouli adds like a sexiness and a lasting power, and performance gets better with that as well, but it never turns into a nasty patchouli or like a dirty patchouli at all. I actually prefer this one to go out, like to have dinner or to go somewhere out in the evening if I'm going somewhere with my husband and the kids, but during the day I wouldn't really reach for this, and I don't like it for bed either because it's a little too much for those things. But to go out, it's such a good one, and I feel like you can wear this year round because it doesn't necessarily give me like a seasonal feeling. It just smells so good and feminine and beautiful. And last but not least, we have Stipazione Eclat from Giorgio Armani, and I also put my travel size of the original Stipazione. I remember really loving the original Stipazione. It has pineapple in it and it smells so good when I first got this one, and my husband loved this one. He gave me compliments every time I wore this when we lived in Tampa. So I have a travel size now and I want to I didn't get to wear this one, so I definitely need to wear this one like before the month is over. But I did wear the Si Passione Eclat. So I think I'm okay with this one because I feel like they're so similar to the point that you don't need both. There's small little differences. I feel like the Eclat is a little more smooth to my nose and better blended and not as woody. I feel like now the original Si Passione smells too woody for me. Before it smelled more like fruity shampoo, like you just took a shower. It smells very feminine and girly, but I am getting more of like the woodiness in here. But the Eclat is just, it smells so good. This is another beautiful, beautiful rose scent. The rose in here is kind of like the rose that you pick up in Delina, but this one has vanilla, it has musk, so it's definitely a musky scent, and there's black currant, the bergamot, so it's a really nice fragrance. I would say I don't really pick up too much on the bergamot. Maybe that's just like an opening to add like a brightness. Yeah, for sure. It just adds like a brightness in the opening along with that black currant, which I'm picky with black currant, but in this one, it's really, really good. This lasts a really long time for me. I saw people saying that this does not last on them, but on me, this lasts through the night. If I wear this at nighttime, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna smell it. So this performs really nice on me. It makes me feel very, very sexy. It's like a sexy fragrance. It's not casual. It's not your everyday type of scent, but these, when you wanna maybe go like on date night, or you just want to feel like very sexy, feminine, it's not juvenile one bit. It just makes me feel so pretty. I love it. So this is my definition of sexy. I know some people prefer like really deep, dark scents, and that's what's considered sexy, but to me, this does it for me. It makes me feel really nice and confident and sexy and pretty, and I really like it. So once I finish the Eclat, I'll see which one I pick up because I do have different versions, but I think this might be my favorite. So that brings me to the end of today's tray update. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below which ones are your favorites from the ones that I showed today, which ones you don't like, which ones don't work for you. Just tell us why. I love when the comment section just adds more so that it's not just my opinion and it's all of you guys mixed together. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So I will see you guys in my next video.